Hi, and welcome to this week's Thursday Thoughts. I'm Sarah Hammaker, and I am so glad you joined me. Today I want to talk about planning. And I want to talk about because I got in the mail today my plum paper planner. Yes, this is it. It's a beauty. It has all kinds of wonderful blank pages for me to fill in and plan my year. Now, for someone who runs her own small business, this is really important. Now, I'm a tactile person. I like the paper. But before you wonder what on earth I'm talking about planning and a planner on a parenting video, I'm going to tell you why. It's because we are often seduced as parents into thinking we can plan our children's future, that we can plan anything about our kids. Let's face it, many of us planned our pregnancies. Many of us planned the birth of our child down to who was going to be in the room and when we were going to have it. Sometimes we planned their birthday parties, we plan what they're wearing to school, we plan what they're going to take at school, we plan what preschool they go to. We put a lot of thought into planning and scheduling our kids. Now, much of that is perfectly fine. When our kids are younger, we should decide where they go to school. When our kids are younger, we should decide all these things. But the danger is that we often think we should continue planning their lives well beyond when we should. And for many of us, this is well beyond preschool. I remember that I felt a little judged. Maybe not judged, but I felt like some of the moms at the bus stop looked at me a little askance at some of the outfits my daughters would wear to school. Now, and this is like kindergarten, first, second grade type things. I decided early on that clothing was not a battle I was going to fight. Clothing in the sense that I would make sure they had appropriate clothing, the appropriate length. My girls were all very leggy as kids, and so we made sure that their shorts were long enough. And I would show them the outfits that went together, colors and patterns and things like that. But what I didn't do is I didn't police what they planned to wear. That was up to them. I had two rules. One, they could only wear the garment once before wetting the dirty clothes. And two, they couldn't go fishing in the dirty clothes for something they wanted to wear. That was it. So they would go down with plaid and solids that didn't match at all. They would go with stripes and the other horizontal outfits. I mean, they came up with some crazy outfits. They wore socks that didn't match. Well before socks that didn't match were a fashion thing all the time. And I just didn't have a problem with that because they were happy. I was happy. Who cared if they matched? But there was other moms I know who I could tell that made them very uncomfortable. My daughters in there. And they weren't like so weird that it was cool. It was truly not a match, and they wanted to wear it. So I say that just to remind us that we have to be careful that we are not planning our children's lives too much, that we are not thinking that if we would only plan correctly, that they were going to turn out just fine. It is a fallacy, and it puts too much pressure, and we take too much of the responsibility on us. The child produces the child. We have things we should do as parents. We should be guiding them. We should be directing them when we need to. But too often we think we should be directing them all the time. A great example of this is middle school. I have one of my children, one of my sons is going to be in middle school next year, and in Fairfax County, that's 7th grade. So he has to pick his classes. I know it's January, and he's already had a turn in what classes he wants to take in September. And we offered a little guidance, but we let him pick. Now, is he picking all the classes we think he should take? Maybe not. But is he picking classes he thinks will be good? Yeah. He's picking someone we're kind of like, I'm not sure he's going to like it? Sure. But this is all part of the learning experience. Like my older girls, they're picking their classes. Now, one of them picked non-honors science for her junior year. I'm perfectly fine with that, because she's going to be plenty challenged in the areas she needs to be challenged in, and I'm perfectly fine if she does not take if she takes regular general education physics. This is her choice. Now, I know some parents that would not sit well with them. They would want their child to take all honors. They would want their child to take as many AP classes in high school as they can. They would want this. They would want to plan their child's life. But again, these are teenagers now. And we think that we should mentor them. We should offer advice when asked. But that's their high school. I'm not going through 11th grade anymore, or 10th grade, thank goodness, because, I was happy to just do it once. So let's be careful about what we're planning our children's lives. Let's be careful that we don't let our own dreams and thoughts and our own plans that we write in our planner in our brain for our kids are not taking over what their life should be like, because they're the ones who are living it. So let's remember that. Thank you so much for joining me today for Thursday Thoughts. I hope I'll see you next week, and have a great day.